a single one of my videos, and then what I do, I always buy physical books. But recently I started getting back into audiobooks because I feel like I read so much more with them as well. I actually started reading Sadie as an audiobook, which is basically about a girl whose sister gets murdered and the police don't really do like a good job, and she is following different clues that get left behind and tries to solve the murder basically. I use Script. I talked about it on my channel before. You can get a 2-month free trial with my link instead of 1 month, and 1 month gets added to my membership, as in I don't pay anything for that month either. But I'm not being paid to tell you this. It's not an influencer code basically. It's anybody can use it really. I don't really use Audible. I think it's too expensive and the credit system just makes me really angry. So okay, now let's begin with the physical book haul, because I know you don't really care probably about the audiobooks. You might be here for the book sounds, but I don't know. Okay, so the first book that I have here is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think her name is French, so I don't know how to pronounce it in French, but I'll just pronounce it however I like. So this is an illustrated anniversary edition. I was waiting specifically for this edition to come out. The regular one is either like just black with some gold letters, or it has like the little forget-me-nots. I think the background is black and the forget-me-nots are obviously blue. This one is just black and white and gold. So this is a book by V.E. Schwab. And let me read you what it's about. Here we have an illustration already. Friends, 1714. A desperate woman makes a desperate deal in the dark. A bargain to live forever but be remembered by none. So begins the invisible life of Addie LaRue, shadow muse to artists throughout history, forgotten friend, confidant and lover, slipping away with the morning light. Addie passes through lives, desperate only to leave a trace of herself. Only the day she walks back into a small bookshop in Manhattan and meets Henry, who remembers her. After 300 years, Addie's life is restarting, but the devil never plays fair. As Henry and Addie's lives start to intertwine, they must face the consequences of the decision they've made and the prices to be paid. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue is a dazzling adventure across centuries and continents, across history and art, about a young woman learning how far she will go to leave her mark on the world. So this premise sounds super interesting. I know that ASMR Maith said that she didn't really love the book, she just liked it. So I'm curious if I will like it. We'll see. This edition also has like these pretty colored pages. It's super pretty. Let me show you the illustrations. To be fair, I thought that there will be more illustrations, but there's only a few in the middle. These colored pages always make this really nice sound. That was my stomach. I don't know if you heard that. I'm hungry. I will eat lunch after this video. So, let me show you the illustrations. The spine just broke, but this is a hardback, so it's okay. $37.99, but I paid more for it because it was, I don't know if it was imported from the UK or from the US. I'm assuming from the US, but it is because it has like the US prices, right? That's why it was super, super expensive. There's also a map here. I really like when there are maps inside books. Is there like what it's about here? The possessed mandate of heaven, the monks who will do anything. I'm probably butchering these names, let's be honest. I refuse to be nothing. In a famine-stricken village on a dusty yellow plain, two children are given two fates, a boy, greatness, a girl, nothingness. In 1345, China lies under harsh Mongol rule. For the starving peasants of the Central Plains, greatness is something found only in stories. When the Zhou farmer's eighth-born son, Su Chongpa, again, like, I'm sorry for the pronunciation, I really don't know how to pronounce it, is given a fate of greatness, everybody is mystified as to how it will come to pass. The fate of nothingness received by the family's clever and capable second daughter, on the other hand, is only as expected. When a bandit attack orphans the two children, though it is Su Chunpa who succumbs to despair and dies. Desperate to escape her own fated death, the girl uses her brother's identity to enter a monastery as a young male novice. I don't know how accurate this is to the original story of Mulan. It sounds a little different, but we'll see. Okay, this is just a plain yellow book underneath it. For how expensive it was, I would expect it to be like a bit, I don't know, prettier maybe. I don't know. So, let's see. I know that this is, it might be also a debut novel. I'm not sure, but I know that this is a very popular book. At least it came out in June, I think. Okay. Then I have a Czech book, but it is a translated one. So the original title, let me find it. The original title is Gods of Jade and Shadow, and it's by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So to my understanding, this is a book about Mayan mythology, and that's all I really know, basically. It takes place on Yucatan in the previous century, the 20th century. But I don't know, something happens. There's Mayan mythology involved. It sounds super interesting. The cover of the Czech book is completely different than the cover of the English book, and I must say that I like the Czech cover better. I think it's an original cover. I haven't seen this color on any other edition. It looks super pretty. And also it doesn't have people. I really don't like when there are people on the covers. If it's like the most It was super hard for me to get this book here because it's almost sold out, or at least nobody would deliver it to my country. Let's see what it's about. So Lora Brooks needs a fresh start, someplace where nobody cares about the ancient grease beneath her fingernails or the felony tattoos across her knuckles. The outer realm may be lawless, but it's not like the law has ever been on her side. Still, off-world travel doesn't come cheap, so Lara is left with no choice but to indenture herself in exchange for passage to the outer realm. She just wishes it could have been anyone besides Sodor Spaulding, the rich, pretty boy quarterback who made her life miserable in school. It sounds like, like a typical YA. It's just like, oh, there's this like pretty rich boy who is a douchebag, but the main character like falls for him anyway, and I don't know, we'll see. I was excited to read it, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it, is, I mean, the stepmother, you know, she's terrible. The premise sounds super interesting, actually, so I'm excited to read it. And like this cover, I mean, come on, like, it's so pretty, it's so pretty. I mean, it's, wow, it's so detailed and like, and beautiful, and the colors, and I'm silly, I know, I judge a book by its cover, everyone does, you know. Okay, so I think that will be it for today's video. This book is beautiful. Oh, I mean, it has like 450 something pages. I like that now. These like Asian mythology or Asian inspired books are becoming more popular these days. It's nice to see other cultures thrive. You know, if I would ever like if I would ever read, oh my god, my brain just froze. If I would ever write a fantasy book, I would